Hi everybody, what's the good word? Welcome to another one of the Vinyl Spins videos that I'm trying to do more of. I listened to 4 records that I want to talk about. And when I do these videos in this series, Vinyl Spins First Time, what it really means is that I'm just giving a first impression. Of course, like the title says, these are not records that I've played multiple times and really allowed to really sink in. This is just the initial reaction that I have first time hearing them. Okay, so I don't have too many for this video, and I'm going to start with the Bee Gees album. Some of you may know J.D. Thompson. J.D. Thompson is one of my biggest commenters here, and she likes the Bee Gees very much. It's her favorite group. In fact, she's very big about the Bee Gees in the way in which I'm very big on the Beatles. Okay, so she's been trying to suggest some albums, and so far I played a couple. I did one the last of Vinyl Spins First Timers that I did. The first album I did was called Idea, which I enjoyed, and this time I did this one here, Bee Gees First. This is a mono copy here, by the way, and I gave this a listen, and overall, the first reaction to this album was I found it pretty pleasant all the way through. And I do like Barry Gibb's voice. I mean, my only real familiarity with the Bee Gees for the longest time was the disco era in the 70s with Saturday Night Fever, and I'm getting more acquainted with the older stuff. And for this album, the first song here called "Turn of the Century," I really enjoyed that one. That might have been my favorite song on the album, just listening to it for the first time. Now, I noticed through listening to this that obviously the Bee Gees had a very Beatlesque kind of sound. It is kind of Beatley in a way. Uh, I also liked the song called "In My Own Time," which was kind of Beatlesque. And I'll describe some other songs that stood out to me. A song called "Every Christian Lion-Hearted Man Will Show You." Let me say that again. Every Christian lion-hearted man will show you. And I found that a very weird and strange song. Very John Lennon-like, I thought, in the way it was handled. And it was very strange and just enough to really keep my interest going. So that was an enjoyable standout track. Uh, Now, there was a song here called "New York Mining Disaster 1941," which is the first song I recognized that I had known. It has the words Mr. Jones in there. You might know that one. So I didn't know it by the title going in, but by the time I heard it, I realized that this was a song that I knew and I kind of liked. Um, of course, there's the other big song on here, "To Love Somebody." And I got to tell you, even though I've heard "To Love Somebody" many times, it's a common Bee Gees song. I would say it's never really been a favorite of mine. It's okay, not a big one that I like at all. A couple of songs here that I did really not care for was the first one, "I Can't See Nobody." That's the right title, right? Yes, "I Can't See Nobody." And right away I could tell I did not like the vocal on here. I'm wondering who sings this. I didn't look it up, folks. Bear with me here. It doesn't sound like Barry to me. It doesn't even sound like Robin to me. So I'm not sure about this. I'm sure people will fill me in. Could not take the vocal, although I like the chorus. The chorus was okay, but overall, not really a song I like other than the chorus. And I didn't really care for the final tune on here, "Close Another Door." It didn't really do anything for me. But the verdict, so called, on this particular first listen is that I thought it was a pretty good album, and it's an album I'm going to keep. It's an album I'm sure I'll play again, and I'm probably going to find it that I like it even more as I go on. There's enough on here for me really to have multiple listens to this and to go back to it. Very promising first start. I really enjoyed the album as a pleasant experience. Okay, next up, I put this album on. This is the Four Tops' second album, and I got to tell you, I did not have as much luck with this as I did with the Bee Gees album. I love the first song on here. We all know it. It's a classic Motown hit. "I Can't Help Myself." Sugar Pie Honey Bunch. Of course, I really like that a lot. It's a classic. I've already known I was going to really have a great time listening to it on the album. So I love that. And there are 6 songs on side one and 6 songs on side two, making for 12 songs. And I've got to tell you that it was really tough sledding. I really couldn't take the songs. didn't enjoy them. To me, they just sounded like just trying anything for filler. They didn't really grab me, of course, until I heard the other classic that's on here. It's the same old song. So, I have a reputation, and I'm very proud of it. I like hit songs. I know what a good hit is. And the only things I liked on here were those two hit songs. I Can't Help Myself, and It's the Same Old Song. The rest of them, I gave them a try, but they just didn't click. And I will not be returning to this album. This is an album I probably will not keep in my collection, even though it's nice to have. Great cover, in great shape. But as far as the actual music, I think that I can get by just listening to I Can't Help Myself, and also It's the Same Old Song on Motown Hits compilations, of which there are many. I don't really need to have the whole album. It's just, for me personally, in my opinion, my taste, it's just a waste of time to play it again. So I won't be doing that. Now, the last two that I have here are really kind of oddball albums, okay? And there's one here that really, really thrilled me. Once in a while, if you try an album that is kind of crazy and you don't know what to expect, and you play it and you find out really loving it, that's a good thing. It really makes you feel good. Here's a weird title. It's called Music to Break a Sublease. And the title alone was very intriguing. Uh, it's called, the people who perform on here are called Don Costa's Freeloaders. And that's such a really funny name. And it's just like it says, there's a lot of really old songs here, old time songs that are sung. And the atmosphere here is one of partying. The idea behind this, I think, is that a bunch of people got together, and I think it was recorded this way. A bunch of people got together, hanging out in a flat or some kind of apartment or something, and just singing really loud and getting drunk and eating and drinking and just having an all-out pisser of a time. And I just couldn't believe this. I listened to this with my friend Julio, who's a regular viewer of my videos, and he was singing along with some of these too. We were really getting a kick. It's interesting as a novelty. I'll tell you the songs that are on it. It's very interesting as a novelty record, but it's just a good time. It delivers what it's supposed to be. It's so loud and raucous and partying. The title means that, if you're singing it in your apartment, you're singing along like this and playing this loud, they'll probably kick you out of here, asking them to leave. Which is really funny. Now, you have 5'2", Eyes of Blue. Has anybody seen My Gal? That song they do. Song Whispering, When You Wore a Tulip. Now, I know this song, When You Wore a Tulip, from, of all things, the Three Stooges. There was a Three Stooges television appearance when Shemp was the middle stooge, or the third stooge, if you will. And they sang When You Wore a Tulip and I Wore a Big Red Rose. Really enjoyed it here. My Gal Sal is another track on here. Margie, Who's Sorry Now, is another track on here. And as we flip it over, we have Seems Like Old Times. We have Put On Your Old Gray Bonnet. We have Music Goes Round and Round. That's a lot of fun. That's another song that I kind of was familiarized with from the Three Stooges. Three Stooges and all these old things. You know where they get this from. We have the next one, My Melancholy Baby. Then we have There Is a Tavern in the Town. Lots of fun. Then we have closing By the Light of the Silvery Moon, Good Night Ladies, and Merrily We Roll Along as a medley. This is just people having a great party time. And I had such a good time with this record that I will put it on from time to time. And after a few drinks at a party, I think other people may like it too. All right, so the last one I'm going to show here is faintly Beatles related, okay? It's by the Fabulous Beats. Fabulous Beats Go Country Style. At the cover, as you can see, we have them with Beatle wigs on. This is a 1964 album where they were kind of capitalizing, like so many do, on the Beatlemania craze. I know the Fabulous Beats have other stuff that's out, but I played this one, and I enjoyed this from top to bottom. This was such a good time. Basically, the idea is they sing songs, but they put a Beatle flavor to it. They got some yeah-yeah-yeahs in there. They got some woos in there and things like that. And I thought it was both entertaining. I thought it was good listening. But I also, besides being entertaining and good listening, I just thought it was also humorous. So it works seriously and it works in a humor way. So I just had a great time with it. And I'm going to tell you about some of the songs that are on here. But in order to do that, I think I'm going to have to go to get the record myself. Bear with me. It'll be worth it, I hope. There's the record there. Okay. Side A, we have Let Me Be the One. Then we have There She Goes. Then we have Walkin' After Midnight. And I should tell you that a lot of these songs would be familiar to you, but the way that they do them with the Beatlesque style really, really makes it. And I also thought for you Buddy Holly fans out there, of which I'm one, some of the material here sounds very Buddy-esque. Sounds like Buddy Holly, the way it's sung. Yeah. So where are we? We have Lonely Street, and we have Release Me. And yes, it's the same Release Me that Engelbert Humperdinck made famous. And I didn't realize that Release Me was not the first one by Humperdinck was not the first one. There was one before that, at least one before that. And the version of Release Me, the way it's done here, is nothing like Engelbert Humperdinck. Imagine Please Release Me with a Beatle twist. Then on side two, Don't Let the Stars Get in Your Eyes. That's a song that I remember as a child hearing at my grandparents' on a Perry Como album. Don't let the stars get in your eyes. Don't let the moon break your heart. Something like that. Very entertaining. Am I that easy to forget? There's another song. Send Me the Pillow That You Dream On. And then next one, Just Out of Reach. And finally, Above and Beyond. What an entertaining surprise this was. And I'm proud to add that to my offbeat Beatles, kind of, I don't know, Beatles copycat collection of all kinds of Beatles inspired albums. Thanks, everybody. Looking forward to the next First Time Spins.